Chelsea begin intense morning training as Enzo Maresca pushes for rebuild momentum at Cobham. It was a bright and energetic morning at Cobham training ground as Chelsea's Italian tactician, Enzo Maresca, officially led his squad back into intensive training sessions following a short break after a disappointing series of results. The mood around the camp was one of focus and determination, with Maresca demanding high standards from his players as he continues his mission to transform Chelsea into a disciplined, creative, and tactically intelligent side capable of competing at the highest level of English and European football. Sources around Cobham confirmed that key midfield duo Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez were among the first to arrive at the training complex. Both players looked sharp and motivated, showing their chemistry in the middle of the park as Maresca's staff emphasised short passing drills, positional rotations, and ball recovery intensity. For Maresca, the midfield remains the beating heart of his project, and having both Caicedo and Fernandez fully fit and in sync is crucial for the possession-based system he wants to establish. Maresca's tactical sessions begin early. The training session started at around 8:30 a.m, with the players assembling in small tactical groups. Maresca, who is known for his meticulous attention to detail and influence from the Pep Guardiola school of football, took charge personally, shouting instructions, pausing drills to explain positioning, and constantly pushing his players to think quicker and move smarter. Observers noted that Facundo, the young South American talent recently integrated into the senior setup, impressed with his energy and confidence. He linked up several times with João Pedro, the versatile forward whose movement and finishing during the session caught Maresca's eye. João Pedro's ability to press high and drop deep into midfield positions fits perfectly into Maresca's tactical blueprint, which relies on fluid interchanges and collective pressing. Defensive cohesion, a priority. Defensively, Maresca and his assistants spent a long portion of the session working on backline coordination. Marc Cucurella, Trevoh Chalobah, and Tosin Adarabioyo were all heavily involved in structured defensive drills that focused on line compactness, recovery runs, and communication. Cucurella looked rejuvenated, overlapping frequently and showing aggression both in recovery and forward play. Chalobah, who has been battling with injuries in recent months, appeared in good condition and looked composed under pressure. Tosin, Chelsea's summer signing, was vocal throughout the session, often commanding the line and encouraging teammates to maintain shape, something that Chelsea's defence desperately lacked during the early part of the season. Interestingly, Maresca has been experimenting with different defensive structures, switching between a back three and a back four depending on the team's transitional moments. It's clear that he wants his defenders not only to defend, but to initiate attacking plays through crisp passing from the back, a hallmark of his coaching philosophy. Young blood and new energy. Among the younger faces, Achepong stood out for his energy and eagerness to impress. The young talent from the academy continues to train with the senior team, and Maresca has publicly stated that he wants to give youth players consistent chances, following the Chelsea tradition of developing homegrown talent. Achepong's pace and directness on the wings added a different spark to the morning's drills. Neto, the new attacking recruit, also took part fully in the session. His presence was particularly exciting for fans, as his creativity, dribbling skills, and eye for goal could be vital in solving Chelsea's ongoing attacking inconsistency. During finishing exercises, Neto combined several times with João Pedro, executing one-touch moves that impressed both staff and teammates. If the chemistry between those two continues to grow, Chelsea could soon rediscover the kind of attacking rhythm that has been missing in recent months. Maresca's focus on mentality and team unity. Beyond tactics and fitness, Maresca devoted a significant part of the session to team talks and mental conditioning. Players gathered in a semicircle as he spoke passionately about discipline, patience, and mentality, three pillars he believes are essential for rebuilding Chelsea's identity. He reminded the squad that talent alone would not be enough to restore Chelsea's glory days. "We must play as one heart," Maresca reportedly told them. "Chelsea is not just a team, it's a culture, it's a standard. We must defend that badge with intensity and intelligence every single minute." The players responded with visible engagement, and team leaders like Enzo Fernandez and Cucurella were seen motivating their teammates during breaks. The camaraderie among the squad is growing stronger, and despite recent setbacks in results, there's a renewed sense of purpose across the camp. High-intensity drills and fitness emphasis. After tactical sessions, the squad went through high-intensity endurance drills led by the club's conditioning coach. The focus was on speed, stamina, and recovery, essential for the fast-paced pressing style Maresca is implementing. Caicedo and Chalobah were among the fittest in these sessions, completing multiple sprint circuits with minimal fatigue. Maresca has emphasised that fitness is non-negotiable if Chelsea are to dominate matches through ball control and pressing. Sources within Cobham confirmed that training sessions have been longer and more demanding than under previous regimes, but players are reportedly buying into the process. Eyes on upcoming fixtures. Chelsea's next few games are considered pivotal for their season trajectory. After struggling for consistency in the Premier League, Maresca knows he must turn training performance into competitive results. The intensity shown in today's session is a reflection of that urgency. Fans will be eager to see how Maresca integrates his tactical ideas into real matches, especially with players like Neto, João Pedro and Facundo offering fresh options in attack. The midfield duo of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez remains the key to unlocking Chelsea's rhythm. When they play with confidence, Chelsea's entire structure looks more fluid and dangerous. Building for the long term behind the scenes, Maresca and his technical staff are working closely with the club's recruitment department to identify key areas for future reinforcement. But his main priority remains maximising the current squad's potential. His goal is to build a long-term footballing identity, one based on possession, positional intelligence, and relentless work ethic. The training session ended with a short scrimmage, where João Pedro scored a beautiful curling effort past the goalkeeper, earning applause from teammates and coaches alike. Maresca smiled briefly before blowing the final whistle, a sign of quiet satisfaction but also recognition that much work remains. As Chelsea continue their rebuild under Maresca, today's morning training was a powerful statement. Discipline, unity, and purpose are returning to Cobham. The Italian manager's project is still in its early stages, but the passion and clarity he brings are beginning to reflect in the players' body language and attitude. For supporters watching from afar, it's a message of hope. That Chelsea are not just training for the next match, but training for a new era. Cole Palmer injury update. Chelsea star facing groin issue. Chelsea midfielder and playmaker Cole Palmer is currently recovering from a recurring groin injury that has sidelined him for several weeks. The issue first appeared earlier in the season, and it flared up again during Chelsea's recent match against Manchester United, forcing him off after just 20 minutes of play. According to multiple reports from Reuters, SI.com, and The Standard, Chelsea's medical team has confirmed that Palmer will not require surgery at this stage. However, the club is taking a very cautious approach to avoid long-term damage. What we know so far: Palmer has been dealing with a groin muscle injury that causes discomfort when sprinting or changing direction quickly. Manager Enzo Maresca confirmed that the player will rest for 2 to 3 weeks while undergoing rehabilitation at Cobham training ground. Chelsea staff want to use the international break to give Palmer extra recovery time before reassessing his condition.